Good morning. This is Lucy and Tina this morning, live talking about all the shenanigans going on with Amazon and Inventory Lab and sellers getting sued and just all kinds of nonsense today.
Good morning. Yes, it feels like a nonsense week. I have had, just to be upfront here, I have had a terrible week with just every time I turn around, like another problem happens. I was on the phone again with Seller Central trying to fix, they recategorized, I think I've complained about this enough, but they recategorized some of my children on a variation. And then the guy that earlier this week, he's like, well, delete all of them and start fresh. And I did. And they're still not, I can't get the subcategory to change. And so yesterday, the guy was just a complete idiot. So every time I turn around this week, it's been one thing after another. I feel very stuffed up this morning. I hope I'm not getting sick.
You know, it's been a full moon out quite a few days this week too, and so I just think that's maybe why that type of stuff is in the air, and why during Q4 Amazon wants to change buttons,
They
change
changed the
things.
whole
It's like
dashboard yesterday.
Inventory Lab, yes. So
And then the inventory. I was in here working with one of my ladies, and I get the message that you now have to do a new workflow. And she's like, "Oh, it's gonna take for," and it's ridiculous. I don't know why they're doing it that way. The whole point of Inventory Lab is to be able to assign things to the boxes and have that feed through. And now it's not going to feed through. So I'm all sorts of upset today,
it
Tina.
will work itself out, and I am 100% confident it's because Amazon is doing the things on their end. Because
Oh,
also yesterday
yeah.
morning when I logged into Amazon, I went to do an advertising campaign, and the little bar that's up top, it's like, where are the words, where are my buttons?
Yeah.
And then I
And me.
realized that they're all now on the side. And yeah, so at least that was didn't take me too long to figure out, but we're creatures of habit. I know where to click my mouse and where to go. And when you move the option, it's like when a
Fixed
new year
stranded
changes.
inventory.
Yeah, like when it's a new year and it takes you forever to remember to write down that correct year
Yeah.
on a check or whatever you're filling out. That's the way I feel with clicking my Amazon button. I go to the spot. Oh wait, it's over there now.
The fixed stranded inventory had that button got moved a couple, I don't know, a little bit ago, a couple weeks
Hmm.
maybe, and it's no longer in the inventory. So now I can't see how many I need to fix. I'm like, why did you move it? There was no reason to move that button, and
No,
it went in conjunction with inventory. So why would we move it from inventory?
I
From
don't
your inventory
know.
dashboard.
I don't know why they do these things. And now it's just in one of those boxes. I call them the boxes
Yeah,
on your
yeah,
home
yeah.
page. And then those boxes move around if you've ever noticed. I
Yes.
noticed it last year during Q4 when I was going to do a shipment. And it will, in one of those boxes, it will tell you you have, 4 shipments, 8 shipments, whatever it is, orders to fulfill. And one day that box would be on the top row, far right corner. And
Mhm.
then the next time I logged in, it would be down on the bottom in the far left corner. It's like those boxes just want to rotate. So I don't get it.
It makes you think you're going crazy because, like,
Yeah.
I'm struggling today. My nose, my sinuses are full. I don't know what's going on. If it's allergies or getting sick, so I'm struggling. I'm on my third cup of coffee, 2 Advils, and I'm trying to find things. And when they keep rotating it, it makes you think you're going crazy because you're like, well, wait a minute, it was just here. It was just here, right? And they don't communicate any of those updates at all, which is exhausting because they give you so many other emails on BS, just
Yeah.
utter BS emails. And you're like, moving the buttons would be much like that would be helpful. And
That
you
would be
haven't.
more important information. Yeah. And it's like, then you feel like, I don't know how to Amazon anymore.
Well, I've got a new employee here, and so I'm struggling showing her where the buttons are because they keep moving. And then I'm doing, some Fiverr consultations, and they're asking how to do stuff, and I'm looking like a complete idiot because I'm going, shoot, the button moved. And to most people that sounds like a cop out, right? Like if I called, Apple or something, and I said, "Well, what happened here?" and they're like, "Oh, the buttons moved," I'd be like, "Yeah, right, the buttons moved." But really, it is happening. So
And
how?
so I don't know how many of you that are watching right now have experienced, using Inventory Lab yesterday. For those that did log in to create their shipments, for those that do the box content on Inventory Lab, you cannot. For those that have only ever done it that way, you don't know what to do. And it really isn't that hard. It just maybe isn't as fun to do that. But it's something that is very easy to do in Amazon. So
I am
YouTube
popping.
screenshots, excellent.
This is well, no, this is the video. So in
Okay.
Inventory Lab, and that's the thing that drives me nuts is Inventory Lab pops up this thing, and I'm like, I almost hit bypass, like whatever. Most of the time, it's we had a API
API
feed
issue.
error,
Yeah.
and it's got cleaned up,
Yeah.
and I'm like, whatever, I don't care. It was cleaned up 6 hours ago. I'm done. But this one, I'm like, holy smokes, I need to show that to my one employee who doesn't work Thursday, Fridays when she comes in. So here y'all go. This is how the new feed flow goes with Inventory Lab. Click on the button. It was all of, 4 minutes and 36 seconds. So really quick. But you basically either have to do an Excel sheet to get your inventory assigned to boxes or do the web form.
The web
Um,
form is so easy. It
yeah.
really is so easy. And for those that want to do like a workaround, this is what I had always done before is I take just a sheet of paper just because to me that's faster. I don't like doing Excel sheets because as you know, that's me. So I take a piece of paper and I write on it. Let's say Amazon divided the shipment. Let's say they didn't even divide the shipment. That's irrelevant. What is relevant is what is in the shipment that you are working on. If it all fits in one box, that's the easiest of all. So if it all fits in one box, once you send your batch in to Amazon, this is what I wanted to try to take a screenshot of. Amazon will ask you how many boxes that this shipment is. So if it's one, you're just simply going to enter in one box. If you are going to fit it all into two boxes, then you enter two boxes. Pretty self-explanatory. When everything is in one box and you just hit one and you hit submit, then what will pop up is your shipment screen and it will ask you what is the weight and the dimensions of your box. And then you enter that in and you continue to do your shipping label as usual in Amazon. If
So
it
this
is,
is this
yes,
is
go
what
ahead.
Tina's talking about.
Yes. If it is two boxes, then what I do is I would take a sheet of paper and on my paper I write box one, box two. And as I'm adding stuff in there, I quickly jot down notes of what it is. And it does not take long. You can, if it, let's say one of your boxes is pretty much all toys and your other box was the mixture of everything else, then I would write box one, all toys. So as I go down and I add them in, I already know that all my toys are in box one. You find your own way of doing notes that's easy for you. And then if everything else is clearly in the second box, so you don't have to write everything down. In Amazon, it will open up two columns because you entered in that you have two boxes to send in this one shipment. And then you would on the row for one box, there's all those empty squares. You will put, that I have two Barbies, whatever those are. You just enter that number going down in chronological order. And then box two, you will enter in the numbers. It opens up a thing at the bottom, just like what is here on the screenshot. You will enter in your box weight for box one, for box two. Then if there's a different dimension, if each box is a different size, you will click those blue letters there that say add another box dimension. The little clickable tiny square boxes underneath where Lucy's example shows that there's actually three different boxes going in, you will click that box to assign that box's measurements, say to box two. It's easy when you're doing it yourself on the screen. And then again, you confirm your shipment, you buy your labels, just like usual moving forward. So it is not that hard. Will this last forever? No. I think once Amazon figures out what they're doing on their end and then Inventory Lab is able to sync with that, everything will go back to normal.
I was just going to say, I have a strong feeling that Inventory Lab has got all of their people coding and doing whatever they got to do to get back up to what we pay them for. I mean, really,
In
we
fact, it
pay
may
for
even
them.
be fixed this morning and we don't even know it because I haven't gone in there to find out.
I I hope that that's what they're doing, but this is one of those things that I'm like, okay, I know the workaround. I know everybody's pissed about it. I'm just not going to think about it because I know that the powers that be are working on fixing this because nobody likes this change.
Yeah.
Now, Tina just described how she does it. My gals do it a little bit differently. So I'm just going to offer a slightly different take on how they do it because they're not Excel people either. And even me, like I don't do that either. I do the way that they do as well. As they're adding things to a box, they make a little note on there. So let's see, I've got a game today. That's a return that people played. I love it when they play the game and then they're like, oh, let me return it to you. Yeah. But so let's say they're packing this up and we've got 5 of these. They would put like 5 games on the flap of the box. So we have markers around here.
My husband does it that way.
Yeah.
He puts it on
And
the
they'll do,
box.
5 games or 5 cars or 5 blankets or whatever they're doing. And sometimes we need more direction, more. Sometimes the notes need to be more or less depending on what you got going in there. If you only have 1 blanket, great. If you have 6 different kinds of blankets, then you need to obviously say them different. And this is where like Adria has a completely different like way of describing things than I do. I'd be like 1 game and she's, she would pick like the title name or something. Anyhow, she always does it a little bit different. So when I go and pack her stuff or vice versa, I'm like, what is she talking about? Trying to match it up. So we try to stick on whoever's packing, that's the person who assigns because the notes make sense to them. But anyhow, we write it down on the box lid. And then for ease, because we normally have about 10, 15 boxes going at a time, we'll just take the phone and take a picture of that lid and then go over to the computer and be like, okay, we got and assign out the boxes. And that's how we do it. One of my gals used to like to go and try to write it down on a sheet of paper and do it that way. We've also just printed out, you know how you can go and print out your inventory for the boxes? Although now we're supposed to say don't capture box content right now. Anyhow, box content. And I would print those out and just go, 6 and 2, 3 and 4, and write it down on that too. So just trying to offer a few different ways on how you organize and get the box assignments.
Yeah, and the thing is this is not Inventory Lab's fault that Amazon
Mm-hmm.
went changing things, So I know some people feel frustrated with Inventory Lab, but look, they have no control over this.
Sherry says she's using a million Post-its. We used to do that too, and put the Post-it like on the lid, and in the top corner put. I do number 1 with a circle so that I know that it's not the quantity, it's the box number. But
Yeah.
that's my shorthand is I do box 1 with a circle, and then I'll be like, blankets 3, blah, 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 and then just take those Post-its and run them over, which is another good way to do it until you move the boxes around and you're screwed. Which I've done that. I love on the outside of the boxes. I also put number 1 in a circle, and
Yes, I
that's
always
because
do 1 and 2 on top. Mm-hmm.
I've packed up all the same size boxes and then rotated them, doing all the weights, and then I'm like, which one was number 1? I don't remember. Oh, okay. People messaging. They want to know my wireless scanner. I'll pull the code for them later. Okay, so we had quite a few things. Tina did most of the slides or
Well,
pulling
don't even
things
show
today.
the slides because I did not
Okay.
finish them.
Well, you were making like beautiful slides. Me, I just
They were,
chuck stuff in.
I didn't have it. Look, you guys, I had.
Look, okay, I gotta share this. Look at this. Tina does just like perfection. She's got it all color coordinated, this and that, and I'm like, oh my gosh.
Yeah, see, and this is why I didn't finish because, I want everything to look nice. And then I had to take a shower. Look, people, I got up and
Thank
in an hour
goodness
and
you
a
took
half,
it out.
I had to have my coffee, go through the Facebook leads from the VA, post it to the Facebook group that I got the VA things done, start these slides, take a shower, get ready, run down here to the office, eat part of my breakfast. And I did not get to finish the slides. So please don't hold it against me. I'm trying my best over here.
This is a Friday live stream. It's going to be the news. Our budget, like we don't have any of the news station budgets. So so we got to do things quick. I mean, Amazon's quick. If you sit here and wait for perfection in Amazon, you're gonna get lost in the dust, honey. It's you got to go quick and change. Like yesterday, this inventory lab thing changed quick. You get trained up, you go for it, and boom, it's done. We're moving forward. Same
Yeah.
with like going to FBM and the Q4 stuff. If you don't jump on these leads now, you're done. Like you wait 3 days. This is not a waiting game.
Hey, I'm on time.
Okay, so this was your first one, right?
Um,
Was it the first one?
I don't.
Okay,
Oh,
this
this
was
was
the
no, that one. I don't. If you
this
scroll
was the
down on that,
first link you sent me.
I don't know what this one is. Oh, yeah, that one is the one that was in trouble. That one is the first one.
Okay.
That one is for the first call. So this was top Amazon scams to avoid in 2022. Now, of course, the year's almost over. This isn't so much for us sellers, but just as Amazon customers. And I read the article, and I guess this has been happening in the UK for quite some time, but really had started here in the US. And what's happening is you're going to get these cold calls from Amazon as though they are your account manager. And so they're going to tell you that something has been wrong in your account, and they're there to help you fix it. And of course, these are scams, because then they are attempting to get your credit card information, and they're trying to essentially hack your account. So Amazon is never going to cold call you like that.
They
Yeah.
have called though. I do have to say it is weird because I have had them call
Real calls from Amazon.
real
That's
calls
right.
and real people, unlike the idiots that I found yesterday. Those
Right.
guys.
So below what you just highlighted is the section where it says, "How can you tell if
Oh yeah,
If
yeah.
the
Okay.
call is genuine from Amazon?" Oop, you're passing it right now. Right there, they're never going to. They'll never ask you to disclose or verify sensitive personal information. Um, and that is one way that you can tell if it's really from Amazon. And I don't know if they're getting these spoof. Whenever I get a call from Amazon, and usually my calls from Amazon are because of a seller, it always shows that it comes from Seattle, right?
Mhm.
And but so does the delivery van. When the Amazon blue van shows up to drop off packages at my house and I'm not here, when
Mhm.
they call me, it always comes from that Seattle number. I'm guessing these spoof calls can make it look as though it's the Amazon call from Seattle, because they have abilities to do that.
Yeah.
So, of course, this is the season when these type of spams, I think, really go crazy. And that's the reason why I wanted to share it, because this is when a lot of people are out shopping. It's Christmas. And I think that that's when these fake emails, these fake phone calls, when these are going to come through. And as Amazon sellers, we're used to the fake emails. Sometimes we'll get an IP complaint or something, get off my listing, and we're wondering, is this real? You
Yeah.
can check where the email was sent from. And a lot of times they are these obscure emails, and that is one clue that it's not really from Amazon.
We got a good question from Brandy, and then I have an email. I found a complimentary website for you.
Okay.
If I started an order in Inventory Lab sent over to Amazon, are my FNSKU labels from Inventory Lab still good,
Yes.
or do I print new labels from Amazon?
No.
I have a $12,000 order that was ready, and now it's all effed
No.
up. Oh, poor Brandy. I'm
Yeah, I know.
so
I saw
sorry.
your post on Facebook that you thought you had to start over. So no, when you are printing your SKU labels and you close out that batch and send it to Amazon, those labels are still good. You don't need to reprint them.
Exactly. You are fine. Other than working through this nuance. Okay, so this is the website that I found this morning, and I really want to try this. And so I got to sign up. But what you do is you get a temporary email. And this is mainly for, they go through and tell you, like, what is it? I was reading a little bit about it. Why would you need it? And these are the big reasons. Signing up for a store loyalty card, testing an app, signing up for a double account with a web app, eliminating spam. And what it is like, okay, I would just be one like Lucy123, right? And I'd say my new email is Lucy123, and you go to the store and they say, we have to have an email address to give you this discount. And I'd be like, okay, Lucy123. And then you'd get the discount or whatnot. You can then have that email, it funnels through and you can verify it. You know how they verify your email? And then boom, you kill it and it's done, and you'll never get any more emails from them again. So I really want to do it for all those discounts. You know how you can get email sign up for 10% or whatnot off? You
That's
can
yeah,
essentially have an unlimited amount of those discounts.
yeah.
The other kind of hacky thing that they say you could do with it is all of those free services that you can get with like Hulu Prime. You know how you get 7 days free?
Yeah.
You can essentially do another 7 days free constantly, which I'm not here. I don't want to sit here and say like rip off Hulu or Prime, but like I've had kids, like my kids are gone. No, I still have kids. And you know how they have that one show or that one movie or whatnot, and you really don't want to sign up for a subscription
Yeah.
to pay for that. I feel bad, you know. I've definitely said no before, but if it's like, okay, you're on winter break or spring break, I'll sign up for this free service for 7 days so you can get it, and then it's one and done, and then they can watch the show and be done with it. I would totally see myself doing it for that, because who
And
wants to?
speaking of Hulu, Black
Uh,
Friday every year. It now watch it won't come out this year because I said it, but every year Hulu does a Black Friday promo,
oh, okay.
and Hulu is 99 cents a month for an entire year. And I have signed up for that 2 years in a row. So I pay 99 cents a month to have Hulu, which is perfect for me because there's only a couple of shows I even bother to watch on Hulu. Handmaid's Tale being one of them. But yeah,
I am so far behind on that one. I'm on season 2, so that is bad. Are you caught up with Handmaid's
I'm
Tale?
current on it. Yeah.
Okay. That's one that's gotta be on my list.
But anyway, for those that like Hulu or want it, watch for the Black Friday deal every year.
I will do that because I think we canceled our Hulu because
Okay.
we weren't watching anything on it,
Yeah,
and we
same.
were
But I
like,
like it for the Handmaid's Tale, especially.
yeah, okay. Oh, what? Okay, that is amazing, Tina.
And back
That is
to
amazing.
Amazon Talk.
Yeah, that was it right there. No, so I'm totally going to do a whole bunch of fake emails to get all of the discounts and figure this system out. I'm pretty excited. I have, let's see here, eBay or Facebook user. This is how I see you, Facebook user, if you don't do the permissions. I have to do ad free, but now they just raised the prices and NBC took all their shows off. Oh,
Rude.
no. Oh, and that was big in the entertainment world. Netflix is going to start doing ads during their streaming service. I'm like, really? You bastards. That was like the only reason I love Netflix is because the no
No
advertising, and now they're
commercials.
going to do ads. I just, very upsetting. Very upsetting. All
Well,
right,
it's
which
good for
one?
stockholders because that's just that much more revenue they make. So there you go.
This is another article. I'll just pop this one in because you already covered it, but it goes through
Yeah.
spotting what a fake email
Yeah, and the
looks like.
reason why I wanted to share that is because this is the season for scams. Always at the end of the year, scams are everywhere. So just, slow down when you get things and you maybe get in a panic. Like, oh my God, Amazon something, it could just be a total scam. So just slow down with those emails during this time of the year.
Yeah. For me, for emails, what I usually do is take the sender's address. It'll be like whatever
Hmm.
Amazon dash customer support
That's
at
right. And plug it
something
in.
something that looks pretty legit.
Yes.
So I copy and I do a search over on I'm pointing to my screen here, but I do a search over on the Google and see if that is a scammy. It usually pops up in the first couple of articles that
Yeah.
avoid it's a scam or no, this is a legit email.
Yeah.
We've got a couple comments. You can opt out. Of course, you can always opt out for more money. And then I refuse my kids to see ads, especially on YouTube. They rip me off. Yeah. I think all my ads are for like selling on Amazon or selling something or
Mine
how to make
always are because that's what I look at on it on
you can make
YouTube.
$1 million doing private label, never see your inventory. Yeah. Uh-huh. Just buy my course for $3 billion. Yeah. Buy my course too, and I'll show you how to do something. It's just so scammy, scammy. Okay, which we did this one. We did this one. I'm gonna close that down. I'm gonna close that one down. Well, let's talk about this one. What is this
Yeah.
all about?
That one I did not get to finish reading, but Seller X was a big seller on Amazon and they were sued for a breach of contract. So I guess this, you see, this article was on September 30th. So this is new news, and I did not get to finish reading this one. But I wish I could pull up the email because I do have a small snippet about that in my email. But that was just a really interesting thing to me.
We've got a comment in the meantime while you're pulling that up. I'll be sending today all the toys I've been holding at home as FBM. I was worried about those darn certificates, but I haven't gotten any requests. Anyways, I'll have to make like 4 trips to the UPS. No, pay pirate ship $4 to come pick that up and save the gas. Because really, I don't know how far away your place is, but for me, it's time and physical to load up the car, drive down there, come back. It would take me at least an hour to do 4 trips to the UPS, if not more. But for $4, they will come and pick it up for you. Now, apologies, the links are coming through in 2 things. You'll have to copy, paste, and put the URLs together. StreamYard is doing a cap on characters there. But yeah, Pirate Ship is awesome. I schedule all my UPS through there, and I do all my USPS pickup through there because it's easier than the stupid government website. It's, if you go to USPS.com and try to do all of the buttons, and it's super easy over on Pirate Ship. I'm like, I'm going to do Pirate Ship. That's easy. Can't do same day, just like at the post. For UPS, I can do same day pickup for $4 if I get it in by 2 p.m. 2 p.m. is my cutoff. So like today's Friday. If I pick up on Saturday, I think it's $8. I think it doubles. So today I have, I don't know, about 6 boxes that could go out. If I wanted those to go out today, I got to put in the request by 2 p.m. and they will come today. The only thing with that though, is if I put it in by 2 p.m., I have to give them the window till 6 p.m. I don't want to be here till 6 p.m. on Friday. So I gotta pick my poison there. All right. What were you,
Yeah.
did you
So
find
the
what you needed?
Amazon roll-up Seller X was sued for breach of contract. This was my cliff note on it, is that Seller X, one of many that jumped on the Amazon roll-up bandwagon, is being sued by a game and toy company who sold it one of its successful brands in 2021, alleging Seller X is in breach of contract for failing to adequately promote it, causing sales to plummet along with the earnout potential. So the way that I read that is that it sounds like, I don't know what this Amazon roll up bandwagon, what that particular sentence means, but to me that sounds like they promised a toy company that they would sell X amount of items for them, failed to do that, and so that company sued them. That's was the gist that I picked up on that. And I could be wrong because I didn't have time to finish the article before we went live today. But I thought it sounded like an interesting read.
It sounds like there was some sort of warranty or something. Hold on. I'm blocking out certain things. Okay. I'll come back to that. Come on. I can click. And this part, it says Seller X failed to make all possible good faith effort to achieve income levels that would trigger deferred payments. I was trying to read in the background. Oh, defer payments. Okay. Failure to meet obligations under contract entitled to regain possession of the Chalk City, a seller of sidewalk chalk. So I'm not sure what's going on here, but I don't
All
think
I
we have
know
to
is it
worry
made
about
me
anything.
think like, gosh, if I'm the only seller representing a brand, these are things you want to know to protect yourself.
Yep.
There are sellers, there are brands, and I know you've heard of these stories as well, Lucy, that I'm have my brand, Tina's brand, and I am not an Amazon seller, and somebody's now been selling my product on Amazon for a year or more and quite successfully. And you know, I was authorized to be that only seller, and then all of a sudden now the brand wants to come in and just take over.
Mhm.
These things happen. And so, it makes you think like how you want your wording to be in a contract if you are now getting to be the exclusive seller of anything.
Mhm. Definitely. We had some pirate ship questions. Denise
Yeah.
asked, can you request a pickup even if you don't buy? I don't buy hardly anything through pirate ship. I do the pickup. So this is what the pickup looks like. Pickup location. I have a few locations in here. I have like my mom's house, my home house, the warehouse. I don't have my uncle's house, which I need to put in if I do shipping out of there. And then today would be the 14th, the earliest time, 9 a.m. You can change this. You can change the latest. So that's where I'm like,
Mhm.
I'd want to go in and change this to 4 p.m. because I want to leave the office at 4 because I got to get my daughter and go. And then it defaults to front door. I change this to back door, although my people know it, but you have a whole bunch of different drop downs here. I can leave front door too, and then still know they're going to pick up in the back door because they know me here. UPS ground is what I default it to. Package, United States, number of packages. So I have about 6 boxes back there. I'd put 6, and I just roughly put in a weight. I do like 6 times, we'll say 40 pounds a box, 6, 12, 18, 24. I'd put 240 pounds in here and call it good. You don't have to be exact on these because what they're looking for is, do they need to send a giganto truck to you, or can they just pick it up on their route? So my lady will look at this and be like, yeah, I got room in the truck. I'm going to go pick up 6 boxes. Now, if I said 60 boxes, like 60, she'd be like, nope, can't fit that on my truck. I need the
Not
big truck.
today.
And then they'll send out a bigger truck that gets issued at the hub. The hub's right down the street. I keep pointing like y'all know where I am and know where things are, but the hub's right down the street, and they will send out what they call the larger trucks to come pick up a bigger order. And this got triggered, I think, when I had 25 plus in there. And then it says your account will be billed $4. It used to be $3.80. It went up 20 cents. I'll gladly pay them 20
Mhm.
cents more. I usually give them a bottle of water and some chocolate too, just so they keep them happy. You request pickup. Now, the USPS looks very similar, although the date will default till tomorrow. So if I went in and did this today, it would default. This would be the same. This would be the 15th. Yeah, I think you can request pickups on Saturday. I've never tried it because, anyhow, we'll pretend we can. Pickup location, I leave at the front door because mine does get picked up at the front door. And then you have options here for priority, media, regular, and it's kind of the same thing. If they're expecting 6 packages and they show up and you only have 3, they're going to say, hey, do you have 6 or do you have 3? And they'll verbally say, do you really have X amount of packages? So when it becomes Q4 crunch time, I'll put something in there like 20 if I've got around 20 in there, and just verbally meet with him and make sure that he's got all my packages. So if you were going to leave it out on your front door unattended, you'd want to have the exact packages there for him. But if you're going to meet them and be in the rough guess area, then it doesn't need to be exact. Does that make sense, Tina?
Yep.
Did I explain that right?
Sure
Okay.
did.
And then total weight would be the same at USPS. USPS. There's no fee for USPS, and then you just hit request pickup. So I hope that answers that question. You're welcome, Denise. And we've got a question. If you've never used Pirate Ship before, it won't let you do a pickup request. However, just send yourself a letter using Pirate Ship and the postage about $3.25, and you will be able to schedule a pickup. Oh, that's good to know. I did not know that. I have used Pirate Ship for something. I don't remember what. Something reselling, but it's a good little service.
Yes, it is.
Okay, let me get out of here. There we go. There we go.
Birdie says that the Saturday pickup is 7, which I think you mentioned as well, but maybe you didn't. But anyway, it's $7 for
Okay, hold
Saturday,
on. I gotta check
or
mine.
$4 on the
Oh, yep,
regular
mine's 7.
weekdays. Thank you,
Mine
Birdie.
7 as well. I just figured since they increased the one, they increased the other, but I guess not. That's good to know. All right, we've got this one. Did you
I
want to bring
don't
this one?
remember what that one is if I sent you that.
You did, because you had slides on who was selling and selling statistics.
Oh, yeah, yeah, yeah. That one I just didn't remember that portion of the page. I think I was a lot further down. But I did want to discuss those are not all my slides down there. Um,
Okay.
that's just a template. But I did want to discuss about the holiday returns. But
Ah,
we
yeah,
can
yeah,
skip
yeah.
to this page since you're on it. So this was interesting. Oh.
Okay, sorry.
Yeah, this one was
Okay.
interesting to me too because this was the top 10,000 sellers on Amazon article here. Yeah, by country, and China and US dominate, with China beating US for the top sellers on Amazon, which to me is not shocking. China dominates with having all the factories and making all the things, that we are selling. And then it was also what was the breakdown between resellers and private label. And the private label sellers are dominating on Amazon. So the China reseller, yes, um, there are 272, and then the private label sellers in China, 2,793. Now this is out of the top 10,000 top earners on Amazon, I believe, are what these numbers right here are based off of. And then in the US, it's resellers, 3,317, and then private label sellers is a little over 2,000. Um, and then it goes on down to say, see, of the top 10,000 sellers, 1,075 are in the health and household category. 996 are in the clothing and shoes and jewelry category. 858 are in kitchen, which to me, what that tells me too, as a reseller, is that these are the best selling categories. At least that's what it tells me. And then off to the side there, these are the primary categories that these top money earners on Amazon are coming from, and what categories they're selling in, and how many of them are in these particular categories. And you can take this bit of information to know that these are the top winning categories if that's where these sellers are making the most of their money in.
I want to see what the apps and games is the very least.
Very
Not surprising.
last.
Everything else,
Yeah.
movies and TVs, appliances, camera,
And
CDs,
see, and I
kitchen.
thought toys and games would have been a little higher on the list. It's 502 sellers.
Yeah. Interesting.
Yeah, I
Interesting.
thought it was very interesting. This was just a really interesting tidbit of information.
A majority of the seller's revenue come between 14 to 19 products, and as much of a quarter of the revenue from a single product.
Yeah.
Hmm. Very cool.
And of those top categories, I will say that house and household, can I speak?
No.
House and household and health is probably one of my top categories that I sell in. And what was that, third on the list? Or
Second.
home and kitchen.
Yes.
Second.
These two kind of get me because
They kind of go together.
they're,
Yeah. I think because health, isn't that also vitamins and things like that? And
yeah.
then home and kitchen, and what's the difference between home and kitchen versus household? I don't know. But I would say that the second and third, when they're on the top, are probably two of my top categories. Clothing used to be my number one, but I just don't sell as much clothing as I used to.
Somebody says no one wants to deal with compliance issues. Yeah, ain't
Yeah.
that the truth? Good Lord. That was, but I did notice, I did notice a lot of Squishmallows got cleared up.
Yes.
Some got removed. I was sourcing Squishmallows because I'm like, okay, most of that toy compliance has now dwindled, and they've either been rejected or whatnot. So I was looking at Squishmallows last night while we watched the ending of She-Hulk. Most disappointing finale, I think, ever. It
What
was
show?
She-Hulk,
Oh, yeah,
Marvel.
I'm not. Yeah, I was never interested in that one. Never.
Yeah, I'm not. Well, I mean, we've been Marvel fans for years, but lately, since Disney took over, it's been a cluster. It's been terrible. I mean, just one after the other has been awful. So I don't know if I can be a Marvel fan anymore. It's just gone downhill. Downhill. What else do we got, Tina? Do we have anything else?
Um, yeah, the holiday returns. That I
Yes.
screenshot on slide 2 though. So that is not a website or a web page link that I gave you. So it's down there like on the third or fourth slide.
Yeah. Okay, gotcha. Add to stream.
Right there. So this is holiday returns that were announced. So as you guys know that October 11th and 12th, they had a Prime Day. October 11th was my son's birthday. And they are extending long return window for that particular Prime Access Day to be January 31st. So this is the time of year that I hate those long return windows, but that's the way it's going to be. You know, it is Q4 and they give those return windows. I think during Christmas, isn't it like February that they can return till?
God, they accept returns for anything. I get irritated with it.
I've had returns in the past that Amazon accepted. I kid
Mhm.
you not, a year later. A year.
Oh yeah.
And who hangs on to the item that long and decides to return it? I
Oh, I
had
don't think you
it
do.
was it was sometime earlier this was it this year? Anyway, it had been over a year that somebody returned some paper plates and napkins that were seasonal. So let's say it was Halloween ones and they bought them last year at Halloween and they're just now returning them. Like what?
I don't know. I was thinking about it because I got new shoes. I got new Q4 shopping shoes, and one pair that I just put on this morning. I got it yesterday, and I was thinking, my God, I could like wear these all Q4 and return them like a
Because Amazon will let
jackwagon
you. Yeah.
in January, and no, there would be. It's just ridiculous how bad you can screw the system. Just another thought that entered my head was Walmart has now copied Amazon on their return policy, basically verbatim. They can return till January 31st on Walmart. So you could, in theory, buy all the toys you wanted from Walmart, keep them here, merch and fulfill, and whatever you don't sell, return them, waltz into Walmart in the last week of January and return whatever you don't sell. And I'm going, boy, that's going to really screw over Walmart. And it's not, I'm not really happy about that one either. Jackson, how are you doing, Jackson? He
Yeah,
is
it
such
was
a
so funny
fabulous
you
guy.
popped on, Jackson. I was thinking about you this morning. I kid you not. Because I thought Jackson's been quiet and MIA lately.
Where you been? He's probably been having a good time. I had a pair of Nikes returned, and it had two RMAs, one for the order, and it looks like they were both auto refunded. I filed a complaint on that one.
It's because
Yeah.
Amazon now auto refunds clothing and shoes
Yep.
immediately.
Immediately.
Yep.
Immediately. Which is it is what it is. I am going to, so I did a video. I think it came out this week. I hope it did because I worked on getting my videos out because they were all clustered. But I am going to be doing a reimbursement request for this one and see if I get it back. And that's why you got to keep the bag, the thing, the ticket. You got to keep it all. Then you got to do
All of it.
pictures. It's just
Yeah, Amazon
That's a
will
lot.
always want a picture of the shoes that you got back,
mhm.
showing that they are in use condition. The box it came in, and I mean the box it came in from Amazon, your Amazon shipping box. You're going to need to take a picture of that, the label on your box showing it was shipped to you, and then that little tiny square paper that they put inside that return ticket. Amazon will want a picture of all of those things.
Yep.
And you have to open up a case and explain how you sent it in brand new and in new condition, and this is how it was returned to you. And sometimes they deny it, and you got to then appeal it again. Yeah, it can be ridiculous.
Yeah, I've got to see it, how this one flowed too. Like I just set it aside because we did damaged out stuff yesterday, and so if I've already been reimbursed for it, like there's no point in doing it. So I got to see what the deal is on that. But my example that I did walk through on the video was a Spider-Man puzzle, and I've never sold Spider-Man puzzles, so it was. I assume it was a Superman puzzle and they returned a Spider-Man puzzle. So
Yeah.
if the customer returns something that's not yours, that's obviously something you should do. I did only make, I think, $4 or $6 off of it, and it took me a lot of work to get that $4 or $6. So in hindsight, I could have just gone sourcing and made more money with my time than trying to fight, and
Yeah.
just written off and called it a damage. So let's see here. We've got Chris. It's Christelle, right?
Yep.
Christelle says, I'm trying out the new iRobot vacuum till January, and I'm keeping it if I like it though. That's a good one. I've thought about. I had one of the robot vacuums, but we have a tri-level house now, so it doesn't make sense. But I'm looking for a vacuum deal. I was looking on those Prime deals for the office because we have a little tiny vacuum, and one of my gals, she's got long hair. It's like down to her butt, and it gets clogged every week. I'm like, you got to deal with this because this is your hair. It's not mine.
She's a shedder.
She is. I'm like, you're taking out the vacuum.
I'm a shedder too.
Oh, I bet your vacuum hates your hair too. I complained and they let me back on Facebook. Yay! Karen got put in Facebook jail.
In Facebook jail.
Yes, Facebook jail. Another one of those that every once in a while I'll get hit with your whatever is fake news, and I'm going, it was a meme. Like, really? It's memes are anyhow, sarcasm, not robots don't get it. Jackson says he was out of town for 2 different work things, building a pool, life happens, was watching from Facebook, so my pirate ship comment was saying Facebook user, so I swapped over.
Yeah.
Yeah, I'd have to switch over to Facebook to see who the names are, and it is what it is. I don't want to open up all the tabs today. I've got a lot of things opened up. I am trying out Feedback 5. That was one other thing I was going to mention. I am trialing that out. Have you ever used Feedback 5?
I have. And they do offer a free version, and I forget how many emails that will send out. And for those of you that don't know what Feedback 5 is, it is a software company that you can sign up with that you will link to your Amazon account, and they will send out emails to all of the people who have purchased your item and either ask for a review of the product or for them to rate you as a seller. So for sellers that are trying to build up, getting ratings, you would use them for that. For those of you that possibly bundle products or have private label and you're trying to get product reviews and you want to get that 1-star, 2-star type of review on your listing. Well, not 1-star, 2-star. I meant 1 or 2 5-star reviews. You can use their service to send out mass emails to people who have purchased your items. When I tried it, I got very few. I did get some, but very few. I felt that to justify the cost. So I then had went back down to the free version. But that was my experience with it.
Yeah. I'm gonna add just my dashboard for a second. This is what it looks like. And they have sent out a total of 900 emails so far. I have a daily limit of 200. And I've gotten 3 positive feedbacks and no product reviews. And that's what I have it set up. I have a custom one set up just for my private label bundle-y type of items.
Yeah.
I'm not trying to get reviews on things like that game that I showed you. That's just an RA thing. I'm not going to go looking for reviews. Otherwise I'd have to pay the next tier up.
That's
and
right.
I don't want to pay that much for that. So trying it out. I'm going to do this
that one once too, to paying for the reviews for the product. I just got so little for what the cost of it was. But hey, the free version is still worth it. Even if you got 1 or 2 from it, you didn't pay anything for it. And it's really not the fault of the software because they're doing their job. They're sending out the notices. It's if the customer takes the time to actually follow through and do that or not.
Yeah. Yeah. The way I was looking at it, and it was kind of funny how it developed. I have on my board here all the things that I'm supposed to be doing during the week so that when I block my time out, I know how to stay focused. And one of them on Fridays was to request reviews. Well, the last I had a pattern down where I'd do 1 week of clicking so that I was always doing, the 1 week, because you have to request reviews within no more than 5 days, but before 30 days is up. So you have that 30-day window. So I'd be like, okay, we're going to do the last 7 days of that 30-day period going forward. Anyhow, I was spending well over an hour clicking it. And while, I'd put on something fun to watch, it was busy work, really. It was not very fun clicking. And I'm only clicking for product reviews, not feedback. So I'd been saying, one of my gals, she's going to take over some of the computer work here and whatnot. And I got to thinking, I'm like, well, shoot, if I pay her and she does this for an hour a week, that's 4 hours a month that I'm paying her. And I pay her, it's around the $15 range, and I'll leave it there. It's cheaper to pay $30 and have more emails go out.
Yeah,
So that's the kind of systems that I am always
that's
being
right.
on the lookout for to solve. And my other thought is, I don't know if it's doing any good. Like, I visually try to see my reviews and whatnot,
Hmm.
but I don't know if it's worth the time or not. So here I'm going to be running it, and I'll try it out for about a month. And if I'm getting like one review from it, screw it. I'm going to cancel it.
Well,
I
you
don't
got
need it.
3.
Yeah, I will not do it. We've got loving it. How many units of one toy do you feel comfortable buying for Q4 if it has few sellers, keeping in mind Amazon toy compliances? I guess it would depend on a lot of things. I'm comfortable between 20 and 100, I guess.
Yeah, it depending on what, Keep is telling you and ranking, that plays into consideration, and knowing that it's still early yet, that the toys are going to escalate as it gets closer to Christmas, and other sellers may jump on that listing as well. So, and then it's your budget, and it's doing that research to come up with your own numbers. If it's currently very few sellers and it's turning over, say, 20 toys a month, I would look at how many in stock do these current sellers already have, taking into consideration Amazon is going to be rotating the buy box. Through Keepa, you can also look at the statistics of how the buy box is rotated and how many units those sellers have sold. You can see all of that information and kind of make your own educated guess. You can go off gut instinct. I mean, it's really whatever works for you. And considering that you're merchant fulfilling them, if you're not going in too deep and it's something that possibly then tanks with too many sellers eventually, you could always return them to the store. But if you go buying 100 of them, I don't know that a store would really care for you bringing back 60 units of a toy. That to me is when it gets rude to do returns.
60 is rude.
Don't you think that's rude to like, hey Walmart, I wanted to return all 60 of these Barbies that I've been holding at my house for 28 days, but I came back here to return them 2 days before my cutoff date. I just think that's a little out of line.
I
Let's just
think even less than 60. I think 20 would probably be rude too,
yeah,
because pretty much if you're buying more than 20 Barbies, they know you're not giving it to the kids.
yeah,
Good morning, beautiful lady Cynthia. I love seeing your face in there.
yeah,
Uh, I think the amount of research, the capital invested, etc., all plays into that decision. If I'm at Target and you ask that question at Target, I'm going to say between 3 and 10. I'm going to get between 3 and 10 because that's usually what the shelf has, and what I'm comfortable with, something that I'm trying out and I'm not got a lot of research into it. If I'm buying wholesale from a toy supplier, my margins aren't going to be as great. I'm looking at we'll say 10 to 40% ROI on those toys. And if I have to buy a minimum of, we'll say 480 units, I'm going to want to do a lot more research than just
yeah,
saying, yeah, I'll test it out for 480 units times $5 a piece.
yeah. That's
That's a
right.
lot of capital to throw
Yeah,
down. Um, what was it? I just bought. Yeah, I'm definitely buying more units than normal on my wholesale side, but I do a lot more research to just not justify, but to make sure it's going to sell through.
yeah.
It's a good way to make stores hate us. Absolutely. So One of the things that I have heard of or maybe have done in the past is, let's say you are uncomfortable bringing back, we'll say 30 items to a store. I will go on a shopping run, and as I'm going on my shopping run, return 10 to 3 different stores and stores that are not in my area. And
If you don't know me, you don't know me.
so they can't, because okay, like I know some of our people here, and we're a community, and so you don't want to what is it? It's poop where you eat, but different words. So you don't want to do that. And plus, you never know when you're going to have to go in and do a different return, and you don't want them to be upset with you.
Like, oh, there's that return lady again.
Yeah, you want to be nice. You want to be nice. Might have answered this before, but any updates on the GTIN situation? Are these listings screwed? I think they're screwed. That's
Yes,
going to be my final answer on that one.
they are
I'm
screwed
done
unless you
marketing.
can give Amazon what they want. So
Yeah, I think they're just screwed. There's not. They're going to clear the catalog, which is fine, and then we'll make new listings, and we'll be fine. I'm just irritated with it. I'm irritated with a lot of things this week. I've had a lot of things not go in my way, and I've been almost in tears with Amazon seller support this week many times because they're just not fixing. And I don't get why they can't fix it. Like they changed the subcategory on my item. I didn't, they did. And
yeah,
now they can't unchange it without telling the right department. And I'm going, the right department, that's been done 4 times and
yeah.
they're not doing it. So
We have one lady in our group. I know she's not on the live right now. That is really good with doing those things, and she might be someone you could reach out to in case she might know a trick or a verbiage that's up her sleeve. I have a feeling you've probably exhausted all of those options though anyway at this point.
I have tried every which way. And this last one, I think the guy was full of it. He's like, if you delete the listings, completely delete the listings, wait 24, 48 hours, and then redo a flat file with the correct subcategory, that will override. And that's not been the case. And then the
Yeah.
guy yesterday was just an idiot. I'm going to call back today and try not to get an idiot. They,
Press 1 for an idiot. Press 2 for someone who knows what they're doing.
well, and that's the thing. I think he lied to me. I got, you know how you answer the call and you get somebody that they don't understand English. And I'm not against people speaking other languages, but if you can't understand my problem, then you're not understanding English. So I explain the problem, and he's like, so you want to do da 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 da? I'm like, no, how'd you even get that out of what I said? Like that was completely not what I asked for. And so I said, well, can I've already called many a times. Can I be escalated to a supervisor on this problem? I have like 4 cases on it. It's just ongoing. So he said, oh, sure. And then he gives me to the next guy who says, oh, yes, I'm a supervisor. But when I explained the problem to him, I knew more about Amazon's system than he did. So I'm like, how are you a supervisor? And I know more about what your system does. That doesn't, like, I shouldn't know more than you if you're the supervisor. Anyhow, that's my rant. And I'm going to continue ranting about it. I'm ready just to recall the product and redo the listing from scratch and relabel it and send it back.
Sometimes that's the better option because it's faster.
Well, I was debating on that because I'm kind of like, if I wait another month, I'm screwed because they're not going to return nothing until March. So I'm thinking right now that might be what I just do because I am at the screw it stage of my patience level is gone with this problem. Karen says, I've had Walmart refuse returns. They see me a lot. I probably should have tried a different store. Yes, Walmart will refuse you if they think you're abusing the system. And I know that they have some sort of amount you order allows you to have somewhat of a return ratio. And I don't know what that ratio is, but say you buy 100 items a month consistently at Walmart, then they probably would let you return like 20% every month. And there's some sort of frequency and amount ratio from buying to returning that they have before you get on their bad list, their naughty list. You've been in Facebook jail and Walmart jail. Karen, what are you doing? She's
Karen.
just pissing everybody off.
And I'm cracking up because Cynthia says she goes to different Walmarts for returns because she lives um, around a lot of different Walmarts and Targets. And then Nate says he wears his mask so they only see his eyes. And Krista says she sends her dad to do it.
I've sent staff to do it. Oh yeah, I've sent staff and I've sent my son. Like, just go and say your mom was crazy and you don't know why she bought 20 Barbies and it was for a sister's birthday and you have no idea. And yeah, they usually give the younger ones, especially because they, those young millennials can play dumb and bored really good. I don't
And
know if it's
Karen
planned,
says
but
it's her name. She's labeled.
is my name your label? Huh?
Well, you, it's Karen. Karen.
Have you ever had Amazon change all your SKUs randomly? No.
Never.
No, your SKU is your SKU. You have, like, that's your SKU. That's weird. Nate's so smart and it's funny.
And Nate changes his mask. Purple one on Monday, blue one on Tuesday.
Yep. 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 I've gone in and said it's a return for somebody else too. Just play dumb. I don't know. This is for my sister. I have a sister-in-law, but make up stuff. They don't really need to know. Here, you got to understand the system. Whatever game you're playing, you got to understand why they ask and what's going on. So when the customer service person says, is there anything wrong with this? Why are you returning it, etc.? What they're looking is how they're going to categorize it. Either they're going to put it in their wholesale lot that they sell off to Amazon sellers, because that's what they do. And they want to see, is it broken? Is it missing something? Does it not work for some reason? Or does it go back on the shelf and they can reuse it? That's what they're looking for. So as long as you're answering that question, honestly, the person checking you out that's making whatever, $12 an hour doesn't care what you're doing with it or why you're returning it. They just don't. They don't really care. And I think that's something that once you understand how little people care, it's really freeing. Like, it releases a lot of anxiety for me. Like, they don't care. They don't care what I'm doing. They are making small talk. They have to decide bucket A, bucket B. That's all they care about. And then this poor person is probably tired on their feet and wants to go home. And at the end of the day, they don't care that you're ripping off Walmart or Target or whoever they're working for. Honestly, really, I don't think any checker or cashier that's at that level has any sort of love for their company that they're going to go to bat for. Now, if you have a ma and pa store and their son is running it, they obviously have much more invested in the company name, etc., than somebody at Walmart. But I can tell you right now, everybody that works at Walmart, they don't care what Walmart does. They know Walmart is making gajillions of money and screwing over people left and right, just like Amazon. We all know they do it, right? They're out for company profits and shareholder value. That's what they are. And so just understand who butters what bread in the world, and it will make it a lot easier to get along.
One of the last things I wanted to bring up is for those that are to the point that you need to get liability insurance for your Amazon business. I'm going to put it in the chat. I think this is the correct link here. I found a website that works like how when you're going to do auto insurance and you want it to shop different insurance companies for you. This website I found, and it looks like they do such a thing.
Okay, I'm adding.
Yeah. So it can shop around for you and find you the best plan for what you need for your online liability seller's insurance. And I had never seen this site before.
Now, do they do disability insurance? They just do liability, right?
I think it's just liability. Isn't
Okay.
that all? We don't need any other insurance, do we, as a seller?
No, Karen had asked last week about disability, and I
Oh,
did some
yeah, I
poking.
remember that. Yeah.
And basically what I found out is you just got to plug in disability insurance for small business and see who offers it. So this would not be it. So
Yeah, so I thought and Cynthia says she uses Next, and I had heard Next was quite a bit less expensive. But then, so last year when it was time for me to renew my insurance, and I'm with Ashland,
mhm.
and I can't remember what company hers has me going through. But when I compared it to Next, because then I got a quote from Next, it ended up being exactly the same for me. So for me, it didn't end up being less. But I do know quite a few sellers do use Next insurance. I thought might plug in to this one here this Spot Me one that I found today to see if there's really any big price differences or not. I thought might be worth a look.
Yeah, very cool. Very cool for sharing. All right, we got a couple comments and then we've got to get going for the day. Cynthia says, we have returned some costumes, didn't work, told them the Halloween party got canceled. That made it fun. They forgot I was returning 20 of them. Karen says, I got my house full, over half of my inventory, almost quit thinking I did something, took a break and tried to relist, and all the numbers are different now. And the stuff is selling. Okay, well, that's good.
Yeah.
Very good. And Cynthia popped in that Next is kind of cheap, $39 a month. And Karen says, I looked and it's super expensive. Disability won't pay out until you're out of work for 3 months. Oh, that sucks.
Yeah, and that 39 a month that Cynthia pays isn't necessarily going to be the same for everybody, because the way that the insurance works is it is how the volume of what you're selling. So let's say you get to the 10,000 mark, maybe it's $39 a month, and you get to the 20,000 and maybe it's 49, however it is that it works for insurance. So those numbers will be different for everybody depending on what level you're at in your monthly sales volume with Amazon or yearly sales volume.
Yep. All right. Well, what do you got going on today? What are you doing this weekend?
Since I did not do paperwork yesterday, I have to do my paperwork today, which is often on Fridays. So once a week, I got to sit down and do that paperwork. I'm going to do that. And I'm going to work on some money stuff, my crypto money stuff today. So yes. I'll probably be calling you for us to do some of that.
Perfect. Yeah, I was looking at the news this morning, and what in the heck? That car's dragging something behind. Yield nodes looks like it went sideways for a bit there, but looks like they're fixing it.
Oh, and then chocolates. I wanted to mention chocolates. I guess we can send that in on Monday. And I thought it was today that chocolates could go out, but I tried to start an inventory lab batch for it yesterday. I knew I couldn't send it out yesterday, but I thought, let me get it ready. So it'll be boxed up and ready to ship out the door. But inventory lab doesn't even let you create the batch because it's too early to ship in meltables. But I thought, I just really wanted to have that shipment done, packed and ready so it could just be sitting there and done. But nope.
Yep. Yeah, it will block you for a bit there. Yep. I will be doing about the same thing. I've got still too early. Sherry says she tried to. Yeah. We're gonna line up chocolates for Monday.
Me and you both, sister.
Jackson wants to know about ASD. Yeah, I'll probably be going. I don't see why I wouldn't.
ASD always. It's too easy to go. It's too easy for us to go, Jackson.
I was going to go to New Orleans in a couple of weeks. I had mentioned that in our Facebook group, and that got canceled because New Orleans was freaking over $1,000 in 13 hours of flight. It's like 2 stops with the cheapest ticket being $1,000. So I was bummed that I had that canceled. But yeah, we're trying to line up next year's flights and everything for different trips. Just wanted to add in here, this is what I'll be listening today. I've been loving the Halloween Lofi and some of the other Halloween ambiance musics with it being October. Okay, well, thank you everybody for joining us today. I hope everybody has a great week. If you have any comments, questions, suggestions. Huh?
No, I was saying, have a great weekend, everybody.
Leave your comments, questions, suggestions down below. I'd love to hear who else is planning on going to ASD next February. We always have a get-together, sometimes multiple, usually like lunch. We'll all meet for lunch. So if you have any of those things, go ahead and leave them down in the comments. If you haven't subscribed to Tina, go do that now. Please go do that now. We're trying to get her channel built up. And get it so as she can monetize. And
everybody loves Lucy and nobody likes me. Nobody. I have no friends.
Go do Tina's channel, please. All right. Everybody have a great weekend
A
and
great
take care.
weekend. Happy hunting out there, everybody. Bye.